Most indie game developers who try to add story hit the same wall. Branching dialogue quickly becomes chaos. What starts as a simple idea suddenly explodes into dozens of variations. Google Docs wasn't built for this, spreadsheets weren't built for this, and coding your story is anything but good for your creativity. Yet that's all indie devs have, and the result is a mess. So most indie devs either scale back their story to where there's hardly any dialogue left, or they give up entirely. I know this because I've lived it. My name is Mitch. I'm the founder of NarrativeFlow and a narrative designer who has written hundreds of thousands of words for games. For years, I wanted my games to have meaningful stories, but every time I tried, I ended up lost in my own documents or writing and debugging my narrative as code. I thought maybe I wasn't good enough, or that maybe narrative design really was that hard. Then I realized it wasn't me. The problem is, the way most people are told to approach narrative design is broken. So what do you do? Here are 3 critical parts to the solution you need to know. First is that drama does not equal good narrative. Games do not need more shock value. They need journeys that players actually care about. Many people think if my story is dark, tragic, shocking, then it must be good. That is a trap. Drama is addictive, and it's not what makes players care. What actually creates lasting impact in your story is joy, journey, and transformation. The joy of discovery, the journey the player takes, and who they become through the story. Big budget studios often fall back on kill the parent, traumatize the hero tropes. They're cheap shortcuts. Ask players what they remember about a story years later. It's usually the sense of agency, the relationships with other characters, and the experience of being in that world. No one tells their friends that their favorite parts of a game were the sadness, the pain, or the sorrow. At least not normal people. Drama can hook you for a moment. Transformation keeps you for a lifetime. Second point, story organization matters more than fancy dialogue. If you can't keep track of branches, the best written lines won't matter. Many writers often focus on the words first. Witty dialogue, clever lines, but without the right structure, even the best line gets lost. Let me illustrate this with a small example of how branching narrative falls apart quickly without organization or structure. Imagine you write a simple guard encounter at the city gate. The guard asks, "What's your business here?" You give the player 3 choices. I'm here to trade, I'm here to visit the king, or to be rude to the guard. That's 3 immediate branches in your narrative. Pretty easy, right? Now let's add 1 condition. What if the player has already met this guard before? If they're returning to the city, they've already met the guard, the dialogue is different. If it's their first time, the guard runs through the full intro. That 1 condition just doubled the number of branches you need to write and keep organized. Add 1 more factor, like a reputation score, and suddenly you're juggling 12 variations of a scene that started as just a single line of dialogue. Organization is the invisible foundation. If you can keep branches clean, you free yourself to focus on character, pacing, and player emotion. Structure is not glamorous, yet it is the only way your best writing will ever make it into your game. Point number 3, your tools matter. Docs and spreadsheets were never made for interactive storytelling. You need something built for the job. Writers often settle for documents or spreadsheets or writing their story directly in the code because they're good enough. But those tools weren't built for interactive, conditional branching narrative. They weren't built to make your story shine. Instead, they slow you down. You have no visibility or structure of your narrative. It is nearly impossible to track variables or conditions, and collaboration is more like chaos with distractions everywhere. If you are a programmer, imagine coding an entire game in Microsoft Word. No developer would do that, yet narrative designers often try to build interactive stories in word processors. Imagine an artist trying to model a house in Visual Studio. That actually might be impossible. Here's what I'm getting at. Using documents for branching narrative is like trying to build a skyscraper with only a hammer. You can do it, but it's going to collapse on you rather than letting your best work shine through. The right tools don't just save you time, they open creative possibilities that weren't possible before. So remember, it's not about drama, it's not about more words and branches, and it's not about making do with the wrong tools. Instead, it's about building transformative experiences, grounded in organization, powered by the right approach, and the right tools. This is why I created NarrativeFlow. Now, to help you shortcut the years of trial and error I went through, I put together a free resource for you, the Narrative Designer's Playbook, 12 insights for crafting stories players actually care about. It's not fluff. I don't do fluff. Instead, it's the core lessons that changed how I approach story design forever. So if you've ever felt stuck trying to write dialogue for your game, or you want to tell stories that truly resonate, click the link in the description below and grab the free playbook now. These are insights from my years of experience as a narrative designer, and I know it will help. My mission with NarrativeFlow is simple: to help you tell stellar stories without getting drowned in chaos or frustration. Join thousands of other narrative designers now by grabbing that playbook, and let's make your stellar narrative come to life.